Good afternoon, everyone, and welcome to our presentation this afternoon. We are going to be talking today about creating a community for immigrant women entrepreneurs in Nova Scotia. And we'd like to thank you all for taking time out of your very busy days to join us today. You will notice the Q&A function at the bottom of your screen. We encourage you anytime during the presentation when you have a question to pose it in the Q&A, and we will be answering the questions at the end of the presentation, but please feel free to ask the questions during the presentation. So my name is Christin Wall, and I'm a business counselor and trainer at ISANS here in Halifax, Nova Scotia. And I'm joined today by my co-worker, Mai Almanpan, also a business counselor and trainer. And we are lucky to welcome Cindy Allen, the communication officer from ACOA, the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency. And we're also joined by Tamida Ojayan, a IWEP graduate and a proud entrepreneur and owner of Triple T Kitchens. So during our time today, we will be providing some IWEP, the Immigrant Women's Entrepreneurship Program course background. We will take time to highlight some of our clients and their stories and their business ideas and a little bit about their background. We plan to talk about our experience with COVID-19 and how that affected our classes and how we transitioned to online. Again, as I mentioned, we're going to talk to an amazing community partner and supporter of IWEP, Cindy Allen from ACOA, and talk about how she and ACOA support our clients and the program. And we will have a chat with Tamida and talk about how the program was an asset to her as she started up her amazing business. Great, so we're going to start off with a little bit of background and context for IWEP and what IWEP is, and we'll talk, we're going to begin with talking about why the program was started back a number of years ago. So for many women, moving to a new country can be exciting and exhilarating and also terrifying. For new immigrants, women coming to a new country. So there's so much to adjust to. There's the new culture, a new language, and sometimes most importantly, that need to find new ways to earn money. So from our experience, many women, immigrant women are looking for the freedom. They're looking for equal opportunities that they may not have had available in their own countries. And they're looking to supplement in many ways and times their primary incomes. They could be coming from an entrepreneurial background and they're looking for a similar experience that they had back home. And they are looking for flexibility to work some non-traditional hours around raising their children, around running their family and running their homes. And many women are turning to running their own businesses because of barriers also to traditional employment. So some of the barriers to entrepreneurship that ISANS was finding for immigrant women were some language deficiencies, lack of connectedness to the mainstream resources, not able to access sort of the business knowledge and information that is available, but they just didn't know where to access it from. And also being cut off from some mainstream markets and sources of funding and credit. So with all of this in mind, ISANS saw the need to fill this void, and IWEP was created in 2012, and it launched its first class. The original goal, I'm having problems seeing that. The slide is a little bit messy on my end, but the original goal really was to empower immigrant women and to promote entrepreneurship as a way of seeking a way of earning money. And so this class graduated 13 women. And this is a look at the curriculum from the very first class from 2012. The original idea was that everyone would work on the same business, and they would create this dummy business and see it all the way through, from the idea generation all the way to operating the business with all of the marketing and sales and the finance and things like that. So it's really a hands-on experience for this group. This is before our time teaching this class, but from the research that we've done, this is the curriculum idea. The 13 women that worked on this, really, they graduated with the knowledge of how to do everything to start up their company, because they had that hands-on experience of doing everything, registering the business name, to doing all of the final taxes and things like that. So there was a lot of knowledge gained from that experience.
My name is Mayan Nabhan, and I am a business counselor, and I am a co-facilitator for the IWEP with Christine. And I am going to briefly talk about IWEP content and curriculum. And as Christine mentioned, this program started in 2012 and evolved since then, and it keeps evolving depending on whatever happened. And the class originally was designed to take place in the evening at the offices of ISANS, and usually it's 3 hours long. And the class goes for 10 weeks. So within 10 weeks, 30 hours, we have to cover a lot of topics. And we consider this as introductory to business. So learning everything about business from A to Z. We don't expect that this would be enough information for anyone to just rely on it, but it will hand the participants all the key they needed to access the knowledge whenever they need it, and all the resources, because plenty of resources is given to them, as well as inviting many of speakers who are expert in certain areas to talk to the participants, and also provide them with valuable advices when needed. The major topics we cover are these 7 topics, and we start with market research, because market research is the foundation to decide if the business idea is a viable idea, and if there is actually an opportunity to sell that product or service that the clients are working on. And in that area, we cover, definition of what is market research is, and how important it is, and what type of market research can be done. And also we invite a speaker who is with us today, and we will have a chat with Cindy about it, where she can offer the participants a wonderful opportunity to actually get that research done. The second topic is around legal issues. And with legal issues, again, to establish any business, you need to know all the ins and outs of running a business in Canada. So we cover all the common legal issues and challenges that can face any business, how to choose the right legal structure, and when and why to incorporate. So again, learning all of that, all the skills that is needed, and this is in collaboration with a lawyer who is a guest speaker and has a vast knowledge on this topic, who will come and offer her experience to our clients. The third one is business planning. It's a huge topic to be covered in 1 week, but we cover only the outline of business planning and mainly the business plan. and how and why it should be done, and all the steps and resources that participants can follow to get the results they want, so they can apply for fundings, or they can actually plan their business. Next will become networking, and networking shifted from in-person networking to digital networking. So we also upgraded our curriculum to cover the digital world of networking. And in that, we talk to our participants why they need to network and what is the right networking for their own style and how to do it, and touching on all the secrets for a most successful networking that can be. And we invite as well experts in the networking field to give their insights to the participants. We move on to marketing, and we talk about marketing plan and customer profiling and resources. So again, they have the keys to all this knowledge to work on as deep as they need to. And for online presence and social media, it's more important than ever now with COVID-19. And with online presence, we talk also about website design and platforms, and how they can, even without hiring professionals, how they can create their own website and create their own social media presence to get the most exposure while they are sitting behind their computer and selling their products or service. And finally, we talk about financial management, and that is covered typically in 2 classes. So we assign 6 hours to that class, and we go over pricing strategies and forecasting, cash flows, financial management, financial statements, and business financing. So it's a lot to cover in 2 classes, but it gives a clear idea to start with that area. And the final class is usually assigned for participant presentations, and we hear from them what their complete idea after going through the 10 weeks. So with the IWEP in 2020, we had to move the platform from in-class to online. And there are pros and challenges to this movement. So we look at the positive side first. There is no commuting, so that makes it easier for many participants. For the first time ever, now we can accommodate clients participating from outside the HRM and even pre-arrivals. So people who are approved to come as immigrants to Canada can now take the program while they are still in their countries. And sometimes we had some issues with clients with young children. They cannot leave them. Childcare was an issue. Now it's not. And both Christine and I, we don't mind them joining the class and allowing the mother to benefit the most possible. The challenges, one of them is technology and equipments that go hand in hand. Not everybody has the right equipments to start with. So some are joining with their cell phones. Internet could be not ideal, the connection, time zone differences. With pre-arrivals, the last class we graduated last Tuesday, many of them in their local time, the class started almost at midnight and went to 1:30 a.m. or after. And we are happy to say that they did not miss one class. They participated 100%. So this is really a challenge that we look at it from positive perspective. And we are building communities, because these women who take this class over 10 weeks, they build a lot of connections and they get to know each other, even virtually. So hopefully one day they can meet and they can work on growing these relationships. But as is, they are already exchanging services and referrals, and they are supporting each other, planning and growing their businesses. And this is Just a slide to show the changes in participation since we moved online. So in the spring 2000, we had 9 participants, and that moved to the last one we graduated with 15 participants. Originally, when we started, it was in class. The last one, we had 1 from outside the HRM and 2 from Nigeria. And we are seeing now with the registration in the coming cohort, same kind of percentages is showing up. So let's talk a little bit about our clients and their diversity. So you can see, I don't know if you can see this chart, but from if we look at the country of origin, and we only looked for the year 2020 and 2020 and 2021, and we have clients, it shows how many countries they come from, with the majority reflects from Nigeria and India. And this is always reflects the immigration policy and where people are coming from. So it will be reflected in the participation. And native tongues people are speaking, again, it shows the diversity of the languages we had in the classroom. And sometimes people meet and they speak the same language, and that is always a happy coincidence when they can chat in their own mother language. And finally, this will show some examples of the ideas or businesses already established in this 2 years period or a year and a half period that I was talking about. So we can see everything from baking and food making to jewelry to hair businesses to everything else, and even video production and communication. And this is a wonderful reflection of the diversity of our clients, their interests and their dreams. Christine?
Excellent, yeah. I think May and I could probably have an entire webinar just talking about our clients and not the curriculum or anything else, just talking about the amazing ideas that come to us and the community that is created as all of these women are lifting each other up. And as May said, COVID has given us some gifts, and it's also given us some challenges, and are creating and continuing to create that community within COVID was a challenge for us. But as May mentioned, we graduated a group this past week, and each client had to give a final presentation. And as these women are giving these presentations all across, pre-arrival and also across Nova Scotia, the amount of pride and emotion that everyone was feeling as they watched their fellow classmates deliver their presentation was just awe-inspiring. And it was that sense of community created. And even though we wanted to be in a classroom eating the donuts that a graduate had prepared or some of the delicious food, by looking at photos and seeing these presentations and hearing the just the passion in everyone's voices, we truly felt that community was created. And all of those business ideas that you saw on the slide previous to this one really reflect the enormous amount of energy and just great ideas that people are coming to this class with. So we're so blessed to be able to be a part of it. Before we speak to Cindy and Tamida, we also have some testimonials from some IWEP graduates. And they're just like, they become friends to us because we share their enthusiasm and their passion. And so just looking at their photos now and reading their stories to me brings back emotion and recognizing how excited they were about their business. So we have a couple of slides here that we just wanted you to take a few quiet moments and read through. But this is Amal. Amal was in my first class as a facilitator with her daughter, actually, which was fabulous. Two creative, just beautiful souls who took all of the information that they were able to get, and both are contributing entrepreneurs to the Nova Scotia economy right now. So we'll give you a couple of quiet moments to read through this testimonial, and then we have two more before we get to Cindy and Tamida. I just wanted to say a little comment about this particular client who went through my second IWEP program. I was especially proud of this client because on her first day of class, we asked everybody to give a short elevator pitch about their business idea, and her short pitch was about 5 or 6 minutes long, and I still didn't understand really her business idea. But by the end of the class, the end of the 10-week program, she was able to clearly communicate what she is doing with her technology to use fingerprints to look at different parts of your personality and how that can benefit you in your job or also as you raise children. So she really came a long way from the beginning of the program to the end. And I think we have one more testimonial. This is a long one in our from our most recent group of graduates.
And this one is from one of the clients from Nigeria. So she touches even on the time difference. And for us, it was very significant that people are willing to sacrifice their sleep to attend the program. We move now to our conversation with our panelists. So we'll start with Cindy Allen. Thank you so much, Cindy, for being with us. Cindy is the Communication Officer at Atlantic Canada Opportunity Agency. So Cindy, thank you. And if you could tell us a little bit about yourself and the job you do.
Yes, thank you so much for inviting me. It's really a privilege to be here. So as May mentioned, I'm the Communications Officer with ACOA Business Information Services in Nova Scotia. So ACOA stands for the Atlantic Canada Opportunities Agency, and we are the Government of Canada Economic Development Agency for the 4 Atlantic provinces. So the way ACOA handles economic development is by investing in businesses, non-government organizations, and communities to help the economy grow, basically. And the Business Information Services is sort of the grassroots level of ACOA. We're a free information service for businesses. Ask us any question you like. We've been around in one form or another for about 25 years. And I have been with Business Information Services since 2008. So we're here to talk about, we help people understand really what kind of government programs and services are available out there for businesses, plus more, much more.
Okay, thank you, Cindy. And you have been supporting IWEP for a few years now. What motivates you to do so?
Many motivations. First of all, well, ACOA supports all entrepreneurs in Nova Scotia, and that includes women, includes immigrants, includes immigrant women, et cetera, all those combinations. And they do that in a couple of different ways. One is regular financing for eligible projects. And the other one is through funding organizations like the Center for Women in Business, which offers advisory services, networking, and management program for women entrepreneurs in Nova Scotia. And Immigrant Settlement Association of Nova Scotia. By helping rural businesses find employees and helping support immigrant entrepreneurs. And you know what? It's just an incredibly well-run program with caring and professional staff like May and Christine. And on a personal level, I actually go out and give my presentation about programs and services to many, many different groups. And the IWEP group is, I don't know if I'm allowed to say this, but I'm going to anyway, it's my favorite because they are so, these women, you know, the first time I walked into the room with a group of these budding entrepreneurs, and still to this day, I am constantly impressed by how passionate and optimistic, enthusiastic this group is. They're incredibly gracious and grateful for the help that we are able to give them. Many are actually quite astounded by how much government data is actually free for the taking, coming from countries where perhaps that's not the case. They seem incredibly willing to share and work together and help one another. I have incredible respect for anyone starting a new business, let alone somebody coming here, you know, to a new country with a new language. It's so courageous. I just enjoy so much these groups. I've traveled a lot all over the world, traveled and lived all over the world. And for me, it's also a great privilege just to be around people from so many different countries. So yeah, those are my main reasons.
Thank you so much. That was
Yeah.
wonderful. Do IWEP participants contact you after class for more support and research? And if so, can you give us an example of what requests they bring you?
Oh, for sure. Yes. Oftentimes I will have, after I've given a presentation on our services and market research that we can do, people will get in touch with me the next day. Again, there's that enthusiasm and that passion, and some will come later, but pretty much everybody comes to us at some point for information. And it can be anything from, you know, we have a full range of support, like tools and templates. We can give people an idea of some financing possibilities through the federal and provincial government. We can help them find out industry trends, demographic reports, competitor information, financial benchmarking. Basically, our motto is, you know, ask the question. If we don't know it, we'll find somebody who does. So any question at all.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah, go ahead.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So you had asked maybe more specifically. I'll just give an example. Somebody wanted to open a bakery. So just to give you an example of what we could offer. So we can let you know what people are spending on baked goods by neighborhood. So we can do that demographic information. How many bakeries there are in your community and what their revenues are. What are the trends in baking industry? You know, when gluten-free came out, that was huge. Again, how to finance the business, the certain programs that might be available, and things like what you might look at paying for rent and utilities and that sort of thing. So really, it's a very wide range of questions we get and a wide range of answers as well.
Thank you. And finally, as a community partner, would you encourage similar kind of collaboration with us, and why?
Oh yeah, absolutely. You know, immigrant entrepreneurs, women and men, they boost the economy. You know, they're creating jobs, they're offering new perspectives, especially in, you know, a province like Nova Scotia, which is not the most diverse place, but it's certainly becoming that way. It exposes the province to new cultures and ideas, knowledge and skills. You know, I think that immigrant entrepreneurs make this a better province, and the more we support them, hopefully the more they will stay. So yes, I would encourage similar collaboration with, I would encourage it for anybody.
Thank you so much, Cindy. This was wonderful. Thank you. Now to you, Christine.
Excellent. So I have the pleasure of speaking with Tamida, a former IWEP client and current entrepreneur of Triple T Kitchens. And if you have the opportunity to follow Tamida on Instagram, I recommend that you do that. And as I have said numerous times before, do not look at her pictures when you are hungry, because she has so many great things on there. So welcome, Tamida. Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you so much too. Thank you,
Yeah.
man. Thank you, Christin.
Yeah. Would you like to start off by telling us a little bit about yourself?
Okay. Thank you, everyone. And thank you, me and Christin, for giving me this opportunity. I'm really honored. Thank you so much. And so my name is Tamida, and I'm originally from Nigeria. So I relocated to Canada with my family in 2018. And prior to my relocation, I was working with the state government of Lagos State in Nigeria as a revenue supervisor. So I work in a tax environment. And upon my arrival, I took a course in continuing care assistance, but I've always known I wanted the freedom. I wanted to do something myself. So I ventured into catering business, which I've been doing back home. So currently I'm into catering services and also a content creator for YouTube.
Excellent. Good. So very creative from a more conservative job that you were doing to a very, creative and flexible and fun. That's a great transition.
Thank you.
So if you had a friend who was interested in taking IWEP and asked you for your impression of IWEP, what would you tell them about the program?
Okay, so my response would be that IWEP is a program that is designed for immigrant entrepreneur women in Nova Scotia. And it's a program that would help in increasing your knowledge about starting a business, running a business, be relevant, and also being successful as a business person. And also I would add further that IWEP would help you gain the necessary information you need regarding legal things, because it's definitely different from where we are. And as you know, it's a program for immigrant women. So we know that the legal thing and taxation is different from home. So it's going to give you the basic knowledge you need regarding taxation so you don't get into trouble with the government, and also the networking you need for your business to thrive. So that would be my response.
Excellent, good. And thinking of Triple T Kitchens and how it's operating now, what specific lessons or help did you get from IWEP that helped you to move your business forward?
Okay, so I got numerous help and information that I can't start listing, but the most important one was the step I took while taking the course. I had not finished the course before I got encouraged to register my business, which was a great and a very great step for me, for the business as well, because registering the business made me more committed to the business. I was doing this casually, but I wasn't that serious. But as soon as I got the encouragement and all the information necessary, I registered, and since then it's been a smooth one. And the second help I got was the power of social media. I can't overemphasize on how much this has helped my business grow in terms of sales and in terms of marketing, in terms of the growth and people knowing me so much, even outside my province. And as a matter of fact, I usually get customers from outside Nova Scotia, and even both back from Nigeria, because people get to refer me as because of my presence in social media. And another thing I learned is networking. Right from the class, I made friends. I connected with so many people that I patronize, and they also patronize me as well. So I can keep going with all what I learned with during the course. And if you want me to go ahead, I can keep mentioning other stuff.
Absolutely. Well, I was going to ask you, we're not specifically talking about IWEN, but I think this is a great time to mention it because IWEN is really a part of continuing to grow this community of immigrant women entrepreneurs. And one of the questions in the chat and the Q&A was how long the program is, and it is a 10-week program, but we were hearing in our feedback from the end of the course evaluations, now what? How we love this community. We love our classmates. We're learning from each other. Now what? So can you speak a little bit to now what?
All right. So after you finish up with the I program, you will be assigned a business counselor that would be ready to answer your questions, and will be ready to guide you through your business setup, your questions, and every other information you need while trying to grow your business. And right after IWEP, you can join another program that was created, and it's called IWEN, and that's where we all network together. And this program would bring you together, and we'll also be able to get to know other people in the same kind of business you're doing. As a matter of fact, IWEN is to keep you in touch with each other, and also to encourage you in your business line, and also to be able to put you through when you have some other challenges with your business, and to be able to share your success stories as well, to encourage those in the business and also those that are yet to join, and those that are taking the IWEP program as well. So you're not going to be left alone. You are going to have counselors that would keep you going in your business. Even when you feel tired, you get inspired by other people's stories, and get involved also in the activities, in the program, in the activities of IWEN as well.
Mm-hmm. Great, yeah, great. That's fantastic. Any lessons that you have learned since you finished IWEP that you would like us to include in our course, or anything that you felt you just learned from being in, working your business?
All right, yes. So the first thing I learned was during the business. It's something we all know, but most of the time we just neglect it. It's having a business plan. Mm-hmm. Going into business without having a business plan is just like you waking up in the morning and picking up your car and just going without any destination. But I know I'm supposed to have a business plan, but I've never looked deep into it until I joined IWEP, and it has helped me with my growth. And also, we were taught how to use the SMART tools also to set targets and to help us with our business plan. Using the SMART tools and being able to write a business plan right there has given me a vision where I'm going with my business. It's not just that I'm running a catering business that I just want to cook for people, but it makes me have a dream and a vision, and I'm able to pursue it right, that, okay, this is where I'm going, and these are the timelines I have, and also these are the things I need to put in practice for me to be able to get into this. So it's just what I'm going to say, like advice, like people should pay more attention to that as well. You can't just set up a business without having a plan. Having a plan is the soul of a business.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that's several great analogies there, like getting up and driving without a map or anything like that, not having a plan. It really is, that's great. and it's probably the hardest work assignment, short of your PhD dissertation that you'll do. But it is worth it, for sure. Absolutely. Yeah.
Yes.
Well, thank you so much, Tamida. It's great to hear directly from a client, and it's always great to hear how the program itself really is helping entrepreneurs, and how IWEN is supporting the networking process and the collaboration that happens within IWEN. And again, it's all virtual networking, and we're just so excited for that time when we can have face-to-face networking, because I think it's going to be fabulous. The coming together of such a great group of women and supporting each other. So we are, I guess, moving to the Q&A portion of our presentation. We have some great questions lined up, and so I'm just going to go through them, and May, you can have a peek as well. We'll just maybe trade off some of the questions if you'd like. I wanted to start with a question about childcare has come up, because we do have situations of virtual classes where we've had children come in and check out what their moms are doing in the class, and they'll sit with them for some time. So when we are in a face-to-face situation, we do have child minding services. ISANS has a whole range of services. And so we do have a daycare available for certain situations. But while it's face-to-face, we are able, while it's a virtual class, we have had the little ones sitting in and listening. We actually, in our last group, we had one of our clients who has a 13-year-old daughter. She wasn't able to join, I think, just one session, but she has her own business, a lip gloss business, and she sold 500 units last summer. Wow. And she was sitting in on some of the sessions and also getting some of the information from the class from her mom as well. So we have a future IWEP client with us already. May, do you want to take a question?
I think Sonali would like to answer that as well. There is a note there. No? Okay, so what I will do, I will look at the questions from the start so we don't lose them. I will go to number one. What is your success rate for business creation and improvement? I am afraid we don't have that data exactly. We started collecting data not long time ago. So I am hoping within few cohorts we will be able to answer this question, because it started in 2012, but it was not, it's supposed to run 3 times a year, but it did not follow that pattern all the time. But since Christine and I were involved in the late 2019 until now, we have 3 courses running. So now we have a concrete idea to follow on this business creation and improvement, and we can get the stats, and we are hoping to present that at some point later maybe, but now we don't have exact answer for it.
Great question though.
Yes.
Yep. All right, I'll take the next one. The English level recommended for the clients is CLB 5 is what we normally recommend. There's some flexibility there. We've had some clients who are a CLB 4 and required a little bit more support, but typically it's a CLB 5.
We have another very good question. If we have a similar program for men, and why did we decide to separate men and women? And if not, why did you decide to focus on women only? We don't have one for men. We have only for women. The reason is women face usually double difficulty. So all immigrants will have difficulties in starting a business and growing one, but women, like any other woman, face different challenges. and immigrant women face a lot of those. So that was the starting point. And our funding is specifically for women. So we did not, I'm not aware that we reached out to find funding for men, but we are very proud of this one. And hopefully it can be turned into something bigger and more inclusive.
Mm-hmm.
Do you want to add anything to that, Christine?
No, I was just going to say we've had several guest speakers who have been men. We're not
Yeah.
you know, discouraging men from this program at all. But it definitely is a program at this stage for women.
Okay.
The next, I have a quick question. I think I addressed this a little bit ago, but I'll just I'll go over it again. The program is a 10-week program, and as May said, it's 3 hours a night, so it's a 30-hour 30-hour program in total, and it goes by so fast.
Yes, it does.
Yeah.
So the one after that would be, how do we do the recruitment? That is a great question. So recruitment comes to us mainly in 3 different ways. One of them is referrals from business counselors and other ISANS staff who are working either on the employment side or on the business side. If they have a client who is interested in this kind of training, they will refer them. The other one, IWEP graduate, they would recommend the program to their network, and they come and they say, you know, we were told about this program and we are interested in joining. And the last way, we publish the one-pager or a small brochure about the program on our website. So it's open to the public to see, and many of them will come through that way as well and ask for joining.
Mm-hmm. And we're very proud to say we've had waiting lists for the last couple of sessions as well. So that's been a source of pride.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. And just that the course itself is news is spreading, and also the entrepreneurship itself is becoming more popular. The next question is about ideation process or steps. So I think, I'm not sure if that came from the slide that had the curriculum for the original IWEP, where everyone was working together on the business idea, on one business. So I maybe that's what the question is referring to. And I think that was just a lot of brainstorming of people coming together, deciding what kind of company, sort of a dummy company that they wanted to set up. But if I didn't answer that question properly, you can just phrase it again so that I can try to take another crack at it.
Okay, we have a great question here. If we provide any financial support for travel to classes pre-COVID, and this is often a challenge for immigrant women. Absolutely, it's a huge challenge for anybody who is living outside the HRM. We did not have the financial means to support people to travel to participate in the in-class IWEP. However, with our experience during COVID, now we are very confident. Even if we go to the classroom, we will keep at least one cohort online, so people can join without even traveling and spending money and time to attend the class. So we will keep at least one of our classes online, so it's available to everybody across Nova Scotia and pre-arrival.
Great. So the next question asks whether the course includes training on funding opportunities for new businesses, and do you have any partnerships with micro-lending firms that support immigrant newcomer businesses? That's a great question. Again, we've had people come in from different organizations, different lending institutions to give brief presentations on what they offer. And so we're needing to expand on that a little bit. We don't currently have any partnerships with micro-lending firms, but we're working on collecting all kinds of resources and opportunities, I guess, to work with outside firms to continue to support our clients. And also that's another good example of where a business counselor would come in handy after the IWEP course is over, because each IWEP participant has their own business counselor, and you can really sort of hone in on the client's specific requests, and the business counselor can help them with that. So, yeah.
Thank you. The next question, what other supports do you offer besides the training? That's a good question. Thank you. We do, during the IWEP, Christine and I, we work closely with the participants for 10 weeks. So that creates a special bond, I guess, between us and the participants. So even though they have their business counselors, they, in most cases, they keep coming back to us. So they have kind of a double business counselor. They have their own and additional help if they need it. And we do offer a lot of training, ongoing training, not by IWEP, but within the business team. So we have always seminars, we have guest speakers, and sometimes we have more in-depth training that can go for 10 weeks offered by the government of Nova Scotia. So we refer our clients to it.
Excellent. Another great question. How many participants per cohort? Is there an ideal number? Yeah, there's certainly, everything is sort of pre and post COVID lately, but 15 seems to be the sweet spot. I think we typically will have clients that start the course and life comes up and they're not able to finish the course. So, but 15 is our number that we'd like to begin with, so that we have a good size group graduating at the conclusion of the course.
And the other question is the link to the program. I will post that shortly on ISANS website, but I think we have other question came, or that's it.
Yep, I think that's it.
That's it. Okay, wonderful.
Yep.
So we will post the website. Christine, if you can do that, because I'm sharing the presentation.
Yep.
Thank you.
Do I do that in the chat to everyone?
In the Q&A,
I'm just not sure.
Yeah.
How okay, I just, where it says answer live.
Yeah.
Okay. I don't see how I type that. That might be something we might need to follow up on with the participants. With everyone, we can send that link out. I only see where I can speak it and not type it. Oh, type the answer. There we go. Okay, so this is the last call for questions. We're gonna finish a little bit early today. I think we've covered everything that we had intended on covering today. And again, we really appreciate your time and your questions. And May and I are both available through ISANS. If you had any follow-up questions that you think of later on after the presentation concludes, we'd be happy to answer them.
And we would like to thank our guest speakers or panelists, Cindy and Tamida, for being with us. That has been wonderful. Thank you so much for participating and sharing your perspective and answering questions. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much for the opportunity.
Thank you. You're welcome.